Well, good Friday afternoon. Meteorologist John Birchfield here with your forecast. Even though we got some brief reprieve from the wet weather today, we are tracking more heavy rainfall ahead, and there are going to be some impacts, especially for those areas that are still continuing to deal with flooding from the wet conditions we've had this week. That heavy rain is going to be moving in late Friday night, and widespread steady rain is expected for much of the day on Saturday, and an additional couple inches of rainfall will certainly be possible. We have had some nice dry weather, some wispy cirrus clouds, and some blue in the sky, and this dry weather does at least help a little bit, but it's really not enough in terms of a widespread long-term break from the rain. Today we do have an east wind, and that's making it a bit cooler near the lakeshore. Temperatures in the 40s in Oak Harbor. You saw that Marblehead Lighthouse camera, 43 degrees. Temperatures across the metro near 50 degrees, and generally it's going to be a little warmer south and west further away from the lake at about 52 in Defiance. There are still active flood alerts for much of the area, and you can always see the latest flood alerts, warnings, and advisories on WTOL.com. Those lighter green colors indicate river flood warnings that are in effect, and the darker green color is a flood watch that predominantly deals with those low-lying flood-prone areas with heavy rain that is expected. We're not the only ones dealing with the heavy rain. There is a fairly high risk of widespread severe flooding in portions of Arkansas up towards Missouri and even into southern Illinois, with the greatest flood risk southwest of us. As our next system moves into the Ohio Valley, there is going to be some flooding rain far south of the Maumee River, in particular north central and central Ohio. And my biggest areas of concern are going to be locations like Crawford and Wyandotte counties, up towards Hancock and even Seneca counties, generally far south of the river, where the flooding risk is going to be the greatest. As a low pressure system rolls up to the northeast, it is going to produce some steady soaking rainfall, and that rainfall as of early Friday afternoon has already been ongoing across locations that have received numerous rounds of inundating rainfall, and you can already see flash flood alerts that have been issued, especially in some of those areas with a bit more topography and hills. That's going to be a devastating impact. Now, there could also be severe weather to go along with this, a moderate level 4 out of 5 risk for much of Arkansas, and that is unfortunately also the area that's going to be dealing with the brunt of flooding. We are not expecting widespread severe weather for us here at home. However, we do have new information that was just released late Friday morning from the National Weather Service, the confirmation of an EF0 tornado that touched down just to the west-northwest of the city of Clyde, and that touched down between Sparta and Flora Roads at 12:25 a.m. That happened Wednesday night and very early Thursday morning, and we do have some new information from this storm survey. It was rated as a weak low-end EF0, that's the lowest category of tornado, in Clyde. 85 miles an hour was the peak wind speeds, and the path width was only 15 yards, so a very narrow rope tornado. It traveled for about 3/4 of a mile, and thankfully no injuries, although there was barn damage reported. And again, it touched down at 12:25 and was only on the ground for approximately 2 minutes. So our next rainfall, that system that I was tracking down near Texas and Oklahoma, going to be producing some severe weather tonight through Arkansas and Missouri. No severe weather for us, but we do have some steady inundating rainfall, and that's going to be moving in after sunset. I expect the heaviest rain to occur south of Toledo. Those bright orange colors indicate torrential rain in locations like Putnam, Hancock, and Crawford counties. As we fast forward into your Saturday morning, that heaviest area of rain is going to be pushing off east into northeast Ohio. However, it's going to be a very short-lived break. By Saturday afternoon, additional soaking downpours are going to be possible. And then as a cold front sweeps through, we got a chillier north wind and still some continuing rain Saturday night into early Sunday. And you can't rule out some scattered showers into the second half of the weekend. Dry weather is expected through about sunset, but by 9 p.m., we're going to be looking south and west where some steady rainfall filters on in. Heaviest rain generally going to be south of the Toledo metro in areas like Ottawa, Kalida, Findlay, and Upper Sandusky. Heading into Saturday morning, that brief pause on the rainfall, but by the afternoon we get the cold front that sweeps on through, and it could cause showers and a couple embedded thunderstorms with some additional downpours. The latest data shows the greatest flooding threat south of Toledo. Some locations like Upper Sandusky, Bucyrus, Tiffin, and Fostoria could see 2 to up to 3 inches of rainfall. Generally, we're expecting about an inch to up to 1.5 inches for the Toledo metro, so it's mainly those low-lying areas near rivers and and creeks that are going to be at the greatest risk. Now, with some of these heavy downpours, there could also be high water on roadways and additional flooding, low-lying and poor drainage areas with another 1 to 2 inches plus of rainfall that is going to cause some big weather impacts. Dry weather continues for much of the afternoon Friday. Rain chances moving in by 7, and steady soaking rainfall is going to be expected overnight tonight and into your Saturday. Saturday is going to bring widespread steady showers. A couple thunderstorms can't be ruled out, but no widespread strong or severe weather. Scattered showers are going to be ending early Sunday. Temperatures will be turning cooler, and then our next system comes in Monday. This one's not going to bring us a ton of moisture. However, it is going to bring us something we haven't talked about in a while, and that is a couple snowflakes mixing on in. This is a clipper type system. It'll kick up the wind, and it's going to drop our temperatures. We briefly spiked near 50 degrees, but Monday evening going to be turning cooler and breezy as that cold front moves on through. Temperatures dropping back to the mid 40s on Tuesday. And overall, it's going to be a cooler but thankfully drier weather pattern, especially for those area farmers who are already thinking about the spring planting season. Once that clipper moves on through, we get 48 hours of dry weather. A very weak system Thursday could produce some scattered showers, but I am not seeing any signs that that'll bring us any inundating or flooding rainfall. And the tail end of the forecast does feature the return to some drier and quieter conditions through mid-month. And overall, it is looking to bring temperatures that'll be gradually climbing back to the mid to upper 50s. Stay tuned to WTOL 11 as we monitor the impacts of the flooding rainfall this weekend and look ahead towards that full 10-day forecast.